In our younger years in California, the sun was always shining, but the shadows on our lives were long. We were very, very, very poor. Though as kids, we didn't really have a name for the hunger or the hand-me-downs and all the nonsense. I just remember my little brother's birthday, we shared a single pack of Oreos. We walked all the way to Toys R Us, not to be able to buy, just to be able to window shop. We spent hours looking at toys that we knew we were never going to be able to get. But we didn't care. We loved it because we didn't know anything else. We had each other in our innocence. That was enough. But the real poverty wasn't the lack of money. It was yet another moment of trauma. I remember the day I had to say goodbye to my mom. I was begging her to change her mind, crying at such a young age, and I didn't even have the words for the grief that I was experiencing. My little brother was right there next to me, and we were both breaking down and losing the only world we knew. This trauma would later manifest in wild ways. I remember my brother, still a toddler, once decided to walk to his friend's house miles away down the highway. And he made it there somehow as a toddler, a tiny figure walking along the speeding cars, while my mother was frantic searching for him. Looking back, I see that God was a silent witness, the invisible shield in those streets. He was the one who protected a toddler walking alone on the highway, even when he should have been lost. He was the one who turned a pack of Oreos into a feast and a window shopping trip into a memory of rather than bitterness. God didn't just see our empty pockets, He saw our broken hearts and began weaving a story of resilience. He used that empty house to build a hunger in me that wasn't for food, but was for purpose. He took a boy with nothing and gave him a testimony that can now reach the world. So I turned up the volume on my music and Jesus and turned that pain into power. As Smudge D, my gospel hip-hop is crafted to be the soundtrack for the survivor. This is the kind of music that echoes the struggle of the streets but carries the hope of the gospel. To let you know that God loves you and His Son died for you and you are never forgotten. That same hunger for purpose has now grown into a global calling. We are making a real-world impact through Mission Pakistan. We're taking lessons learned from an empty house and using them to fill the lives of children who are feeling the same hunger that I once did. Every beat, every lyric, every play fuels this mission and feeds the unreachable. So hit play, hit save, follow, subscribe, and download, because all of these things culminate into a bigger picture. So don't let history dictate your destiny. If you're staring through the glass at life and you think you can't afford it, remember this story. This story is proof that God performs His greatest miracles and transformations out of the darkest pits. And stay tuned for Music from the Pit, Episode 5, next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central. And share this story with somebody who feels left at the gate and start building your legacy today. Your struggle isn't a dead end. It's the intro to your greatest comeback.